Hello everyone, welcome to EduTap and welcome to the Phenonomics session. In today's session, we are going to discuss these four very important terms in economics as well as how they are different from each other, how they are distinct from each other. As well as we are going to discuss that how they affect the economy. Deflation, that is the decrease in the general price level, this is considered good, okay, that the prices are decreasing, but this is actually the worst case scenario. This is actually affecting the economy in a very bad manner. So how is that possible? How all of these terms affect the economy? So all of this we are going to discuss in today's session. But before starting with the session, there is a big announcement from EduTap that EduTap has brought for you the comprehensive guide for the RBI Grade B and SEBI Grade A, where you can get all the information that you want to know about the exam, the eligibility criteria, the pattern, the syllabus, the subjects. All the queries can be answered through a single guidebook. If you want to know about the preparation, the sources that you have to follow, the strategy that you have to follow, all of that will be provided through a single guidebook, and all the information, you do not have to visit different links, you do not have to visit different websites. You can get all the information regarding the exams through these guidebooks. Okay, the link is given in the description box below. Do download this free guidebooks that are available for your benefit. Okay, so now starting with the session, that is starting with deflation first. Deflation means that the general price level is falling. What does that mean? Okay, so when the prices of chips are falling, let's say the prices of chips are falling, can we say that that is deflation? Because we are talking about the fall in prices, right? No, we cannot say that when the prices of chips are falling. We cannot call it inflation. We cannot call it deflation. Why? Because deflation means that when the prices of most of the goods and services, are falling, then we can say that that is deflation. That is, the prices of the consumer basket is falling. The prices of the consumer basket is falling. The most of the goods and services that the consumers buy, the consumers consume, the prices of that basket is falling, then we can say that that is deflation. So that is the fall in, there is continuous or sustained fall in the general price level, that is known as deflation. Okay, so now how this deflation is bad for the economy? Because when the prices are reducing, that is good for the consumer. I can buy this cloth for 100 rupees, before I was buying this for 500 rupees, 600 rupees. So what happened? How this deflation can be bad when I am benefiting, when the consumers are benefiting. So see what happens, that when the prices are falling, that is, before you were buying something for rupees 10, but now you can buy the same thing for rupees 7. So now what happens, that the producers that were selling the good for rupees 10, they have to sell the goods for rupees 7 now. Now they are getting less prices, so they will not be motivated to produce. For example, let's say your salary was 30,000. Now your salary has come down to 15,000, to 5,000. Will you want to put the same effort you were putting before? No. That is the same for the producers. When the prices are decreasing in the economy, the producers are not getting the profits that they were getting before, because the prices of the commodities, of the goods and services are falling that they are providing. So they will not want to put the same effort. So the production will reduce. The output is reducing. When the output reduces, that means the labor that were working before, they are not required, because less amount of the output has to be produced. So less labor is needed, less employment will be in the economy, that is, higher unemployment will be in the economy. When the high unemployment is there in the economy, the demand will start reducing. The demand will start reducing. That means the unemployment is high. I am not able to buy, I have lost my job. I am only able to buy the necessary goods for my survival. I will not be able to buy the other goods. So the unemployment has increased in the economy, that brings the reduction in demand. When the demand reduces, the prices will further reduce, the profits of the producers will further reduce, the income of the producers will further reduce. They will not want to put the same effort. They will reduce the output, and that will reduce the employment, and this negative cycle will continue happening in the economy. So whenever there is a fall in the general price level and by a greater amount, the producers will be incentivized to produce. Okay, they will be disincentivized to produce, they will not want to produce, and that will lead to a bad cycle in the economy. Okay, the output will reduce, the employment will reduce, the unemployment will rise, the demand will reduce, that will further lead to reduction in prices and reduction in production. So you can understand that this kind of cycle will continue and continue. Okay, so that is deflation. Now coming to inflation. Inflation, we have already discussed this a lot of time, that inflation means the general price level is rising continuously in a sustained manner. Okay, that is, this consumer was buying these products. Let's say the prices of most of the goods and services are rising, then we can say that there is inflation in the economy. Okay, when most of the goods and services prices are rising, then we can say that there is inflation in the economy. Okay, that is the increase in general price level. We can say that inflation is in the economy. So let's say there was only one product in the economy and that was rupees 10, but now the price has increased to rupees 15. So when the prices are rising, what is happening, that the producers will be incentivized to produce more. Okay, they will be incentivized to produce more, because now they are getting higher profits. They were only getting rupees 10 for their product, but now they are getting rupees 15 for their product. So they will want to produce more to sell and get the profits, to get the higher price. So they will increase the output. When the output increases, more labor will be needed to produce this output. So the employment will increase and the unemployment will reduce. When the employment increases, the demand will increase. When the demand is increasing faster than the supply, what will happen? That the demand is very high, the supply is slowly increasing. So demand will increase, that means the prices will increase. With the increase in the prices further to rupees 20, to rupees 25, the output will be increased further. So you can understand that there is a positive cycle that is going on in the economy, that is increasing the growth of the economy, that is increasing the output in the economy, that is increasing the employment in the economy, that is boosting the economy. So inflation is actually good. We usually consider that the fall in prices is good for us because we can buy more, but that is actually bad for the economy. The inflation, that is the rise in prices, is actually good for the economy. But now you will say that the RBI is trying to control the inflation. So how is it good for the economy? So the RBI wants the inflation to be in between 2 to 6%. That is around 4%. Because see, the inflation is good for the economy. That is, the rise in prices is good for the economy, but to a limited amount. If the inflation is around 4%, that is considered good for the economy because the prices are rising, but that is not affecting the economy, that is not affecting the consumers in a very bad way. Okay, if the price of a packet of chips has increased from 100 to 104, that is 4%, we will not care much. We just have to give 4 rupees extra. It is not a very big deal. But when the prices of a packet of chips has increased from 100 to 200, we will stop buying this good, because from 100 the prices has increased to 200. So that is 100% inflation has come into the economy. This, and you will say 100% inflation, can that be possible? That is possible. Even 2000, 3000% of inflation can be possible, and it happened in Germany during the hyperinflation. In Germany, there was hyperinflation that came, and at that time the prices, in one day the prices were rising in multiple times. Like in morning the prices were different, by 1 hour, after 1 hour the prices were different. It was rising very fast in the economy, and that brought the hyperinflation. The prices were rising by 2000, 3000 times in one day, and by such a great percent. So inflation is good for the economy because it boosts production. But inflation is in a limited amount. If it is in between 2 to 6% as per the RBI for India, it is fine inflation. Okay, we can handle it. But if it goes above 6%, it becomes harder for the country to handle that kind of inflation. Okay, so 2 to 6% inflation is good because you have seen that how it is good. Prices increase, output increase, employment increase, unemployment decreases. Okay, but such high inflation, hyperinflation, brings the breakdown of the economy. The government was not able to handle. The people were sleeping without any food. They were not even getting the breads, because 2000% of inflation means from 10 rupees the bread was costing. The bread was 10 rupees. So now it was costing 2000, 20,000. It was increasing in such a fast rate. So I hope you have understood inflation, how it is beneficial but how the hyperinflation or the greater amount of inflation can bring a bad effect. So now when the inflation is very high, what happens that the disinflation is brought. That is the fall in inflation rate. So does this mean that the prices are falling? No, this does not mean that the prices are falling. This means that the inflation rate is falling. The rise in prices is still there, but the rise in prices is happening by a smaller percentage. So the rise in prices was by 100%. That was a bad situation. So the government took steps and the rise in prices is now happening by 50%. Okay, the prices were rising from 100 to 200, but now the prices are only rising by 100 to 150. So here you can see that the prices are actually rising, but by a smaller percentage. So that is disinflation. That is, the inflation is positive. The inflation is positive. The inflation is happening in the economy, but by a lesser and lesser percentage. Okay. So here you can see that the inflation was 3%, we can say. It rose to 5%, it rose to 10%, it rose to 15%. So the inflation rate is rising very fast. But now here you can see that the inflation was 15%, it came down to 10%, 5%, 3%. So that is, the inflation rate is decreasing. The inflation rate is decreasing. So this is disinflation. This is disinflation. That is, the inflation rate is decreasing. But still, the prices are increasing by 3%. The prices are increasing by 10%. The prices are increasing by 5%. So in percentage, the inflation is decreasing, but the prices are rising by smaller and smaller percentage. So the prices are rising by a smaller and smaller percentage. Here, deflation is there. This is deflation when the prices are falling. Here the prices are falling. So here the prices are rising. Here also the prices are rising by but by a smaller amount, by a smaller percentage. Here the prices are falling. Okay. I hope you have understood this very clear. That is disinflation. The inflation rate is decreasing but is positive. Okay. Next is reflation. Now, inflation and reflation, they are very much confused because reflation also means rising prices in general price level. Reflation also means the rise in general price level. So, isn't it same than inflation? Because inflation also means the rise in general price level by a continuous measure. So, see, reflation is what? It comes after deflation, and the rise in general price level that comes after the contraction or the deflation, that is called as reflation. See, what happens that when the economy is in deflation situation, when the output is decreasing, when the employment is decreasing, when the unemployment is rising, that is a very bad situation for the economy because the unemployment is rising and the government does not want this because the people are sleeping hungry, the people are very much suffering. So that is a very bad situation for the economy when the deflation is there in the economy. Here, this is not from negative, this is deflation. Okay, because negative means the prices are reducing, the growth is reducing. Okay, here you can see that the growth is reducing and here the growth has gone to negative. So you can understand that through the deflation, the growth can even go to negative. So when this kind of situation is happening, then the government tries to bring the policies. Then the government tries to bring the positive policies. The central bank, that is the monetary authority of the country, tries to bring such policies that the prices can start rising. Because here with the deflation, the prices were decreasing, so the output, that is the GDP growth, that is the growth is also falling. Okay, the growth is becoming negative. So now when there is too much negative growth, when there is too much decrease in the growth, then the government thinks that now we have to take strong, stringent measures to do something. So the government tries to increase the prices. The government tries to increase the demand so that the prices can increase. So the government and the central bank of the country, they try to take very strong measures so that the demand can be increased, so that the prices can be increased. And this is what we call reflation, that after, to combat deflation when the prices are rising, to combat deflation when the prices are increased after a contraction, that is what we call reflation. So when does reflation happens? After deflation. And reflation is done by who? By the government or the central bank. Okay, so these are the terms that you have to understand. And here, due to deflation, the GDP growth is going down. Okay, when the prices are reducing, GDP growth means what? The output, the value of goods and services, it is going down. Okay, with the deflation. So now coming to the, yes, this is the graphical summary. Here you can see the inflation rate that is increasing, the prices are rising. The prices are rising by a increasing percentage. Here you can see that the prices are rising but by a lesser inflation rate. Here is the inflation rate, right? So here the inflation rate was rising. The inflation rate was rising from 10% to 20%. The inflation was rising to 30% to 40%. So now here the inflation rate is decreasing from 40%. It is coming down to 20% to 10%. But here disinflation means that the inflation rate is decreasing but is positive. Okay, that is the prices are rising through a smaller percentage. The price disinflation means the prices are rising through a smaller percentage. The prices are rising but the inflation rate is decreasing. Okay, but still positive. Now deflation means negative inflation. That is fall in prices. The prices are falling. That is deflation. That is the prices are falling. Okay, and when the prices are falling, then what will you do? That instead of buying now, I will wait for this cloth to go down from 500 to 200 to 100. I know that in the future the price is going down, so I will wait for the future to come so that I can buy this cloth when the cloth is very cheap. Okay, so the delay in purchases happens because you know that the prices will be continuously falling, because deflation means that the prices are falling in a continuous or sustained manner. So the aggregate demand will fall in the current period because people expect that in the future the prices will go down. When the aggregate demand fall, the prices further fall, and that continues the deflation. Okay, so I hope you can easily answer this question now. Very easy question. This is the second question that I hope you can easily answer. Okay, contraction and deflation, they are same. Deflation means prices are falling. That means when the prices are falling, output is falling and the employment is falling. So when the output falls and employment falls, that means the contraction is there in the economy, the reduction is there in the economy. So do subscribe to our YouTube channel and join our Telegram channel for the PDF of this session. And thank you very much. If you have any query, you can mail us here or you can contact us through this number. Thank you very much, everyone.